think about visual art journals, paintings, assemblages and more? If you like it like I do, then you are right here. Hi, I'm Bea Grob and I love to inspire you.
Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. So glad you joined me today for another video. I hope you are all doing well. Now, today I wanted to share with you those whimsical Christmas postcards I made lately with my face stamp set. And before I forget, I also want to mention that I'm gonna have a Christmas sales coming up on November 15th until end of December, where you get the whole bundle with the face stamp set, the washi sticker set, the stencils and the collage papers. So don't forget to check it out over at www.beagrob.com. As always, the link is down below there too. Back to the postcards. I did start making some backgrounds on, it was a mixed media paper, so I did use watercolors. I had a blue background with some copper watercolor, and I had a pink background with some also copper watercolor. Probably the camera doesn't pick up the shimmer. Yeah, maybe you can see it. Let's see. Yeah, it is a little bit of a shimmer with the copper watercolor color I have used. So yeah. Besides that, I have used some ephemera like a music sheet or old book pages. I did use for the wings, which are sometimes double wings and sometimes single wings. I did use a tracing paper, which I did also on the same face stamp set. There is also the wing stamp, so you can stamp it out on your tracing paper, or maybe you have some vellum, whatever works for you. Just one thing, maybe not so clear in the video, I did stamp on one side and color in on the other side. This little text block here, which is saying Christmas in a lot of, in 2, 4, 6, 8, 9 languages, it says Merry Christmas. That's from an older stamp set, which is still available. It's a rubber stamp set, this one, so you can check it out also on in my shop if you are interested. Then I did use laces, some old vintage laces, and I still had in my stash those punched out stars, which I have embossed, and then while the embossing was still hot, I did add the metal foil. And obviously I did go around with the sewing machine. I like the look. Now, I hope you enjoy and I hope to see you soon again. Take care. Bye. Okay, to make sort of a similar card, not exactly the same obviously, I'm gonna show you really quick what I have used. First of all, I have here hot pressed watercolor paper. Mine's happen to be from Fabriano. It's 140 pound or 300 gram per square meter that we need to make our background. Then we also need a little bit of tracing paper. I think the thinner the better. We need it for the wings. I happen to have the transparent paper, the tracing paper from Talents, whatever you have on hand. Then we're gonna need StazOn or any other permanent black ink. We're gonna need watercolors for the background. I do have planned to do it in red, pink, and I do have a silver. I don't know if the camera picks it up. It is a changing color. And I'm also going to use the deep gold for the wings. We need obviously brush. We're going to need for doing the face some Derwent Inktense or any watercolor pencils would work too. I just happen to have those. I have an iris blue, an amber and a Shiraz, which is a red. That's sort of a beige green. I usually use that for skin colors when I just work with Inktense pencils. And then the iris blue, it's obviously a blue. brush I did mention. I'm gonna do the coloring of the face. Where is my card? Here she is. I do the coloring with the face with the ink dents. That's what I need them for. And I need a pencil. Maybe I'm gonna need the micron pen. Sometimes when you stamp and it doesn't work out, you can just correct it with a little bit of black permanent marker. I'm also gonna use the white Posca pen as a highlight for her eyes. I have in my stash, I tend to do that in batches, those kind of things, those little stars embellishment. I did use white embossing powder, and added some metal foil. If I can't find the video where I did show the process, actually how I add those metal foils, I'm gonna link it in the description. Or I'm gonna put it in the end card, even better. So yeah. Then you need some sort of ephemera paper. I have now like musical sheets, but you probably also could use like old text from old books, text pages. That's what I wanted to say. And then some sort of lace from your stash. We all collect them, don't we? So that's about it. What we need. Some parts I'm gonna speed up. Some parts I'm gonna cut out. I mean, yeah, it's not necessary that you watch every step. Especially the sewing, I'm gonna do off camera. The sewing machine is right here on the side, but I have no way at the moment to film. I'm still in the new studio. We moved already nearly a year ago, but I'm still not happy with my setup. I'm still fighting a little bit. Anyway, let's start with the project. First of all, we're going to do the background. And as always, I tend to work in batches. So I'm going to do, like for 4 cards, I'm going to do the background. But I'm only going to show you 1 card because, yeah, at one point you just know how it works, don't you? So let's start with some red colors, or with the opera pink, and I need a spot where there is no other color. Sorry for the reach. I need to clean it a little bit here so that I have no contamination, so I don't mix cool and warm colors or opposite colors, which then would turn into mud, which we don't want at the moment. Sometimes we want it, sometimes we don't want it. But I tend to leave my colors, especially if I do faces. I like to use the leftovers and mix them up, which gives the nicest face colors, in my opinion. Okay, first of all, I'm going to start and wet the whole paper. It is a hot pressed, so there will be a lot of texture, which is sometimes fine for me. We need different papers for different projects. At least I need. Maybe you don't. Who knows? I should have read that before. And I do take a really large brush because I don't want to be too exact, or I just want a background somehow. And I think I'm probably also going to use a little bit of the copper, just to have a little bit of a metallic shine. I really need to spray those things. Now you can play around as long as you want until you are happy with what you have on your paper. I think that's it for me. I'm gonna use the heat tool to dry it really quick. Now the next step would be adding another piece of the same paper to the back, because first of all it seems a little bit flimsy for, I want to send it as a postcard, so that's what I have to mention. If you would put it directly on a card base, you could use it just like that, but I want to send it as a postcard. And also I want to do the sewing before I do the other stuff, so I'm gonna cut it in 4 pieces so I get postcard size, and then I'm gonna sew around the edges, and then I will be back. Okay, here I am with my bunch of cards. The base is finished now. I did cut my papers and sew along the edges, and I did use black thread to sew along on the largest stitch on the machine I have, because it coordinates with the stamping, with the black stamping, and I find it always nice if colors repeat. It's always a good design decision. And yeah, I tend to use my scrap pieces for when I collage pieces together, so I have here a little bit of yeah, a drawing that wasn't successful, and I have also punched out some stars, so I need my StazOn. You can use any permanent blacking, it doesn't has to be StazOn, it's my favorite. Oh, that's, well, yeah, I should have known. And it's probably, yeah, it's pretty dry, maybe I have to fill it up. Let's see if there is still enough ink, because I want it really black. Here we go, that's what I was looking for. Gonna fuzzy cut that real quick. A little tip here, move your paper and not your scissor if you want to fuzzy cut things. It's much easier. And here I do elongate it a little bit, just so that I have something to glue together, because I want to do the dress with this paper, so I need something to glue those things together. And sometimes I really tend to rough cut it first a little bit, and then go into the little tight spots. Okay, that's this one. I'm gonna my wing stamp, and it really helps if you have some sort of a foam underneath if you're stamping, especially when the stamp pad is already a little bit dry. Give it a little bit time to transfer the ink. Now, if you don't have tracing paper, you could use just plain paper, that works too. I just like the idea of the slightly translucent wings. So my next step gonna be, and I do have this scrap here, I want to make a dress for her. And I have to think about what kind of opening at the t-shirt she has. Also, it doesn't matter really so much. Well, it's gonna be pretty straight, I think. Okay, but I want to draw in a little bit of shoulders. And it doesn't have to be perfect. I'm gonna use some tacky glue, and that's the reason why you need a little bit of a tab flap here, so you can glue it together. It's much easier than put it together on the base itself. Now, where did I put my wings? Not my wings, but her wings. Here we go. I have stamped on this side, but I'm gonna color in on the back side. I try to stay in the lines, but as we're gonna cut it back, it is not the end of the world if you go over the lines. Now it is tracing paper, means it's gonna curl up a little bit with the liquid we add, but I actually don't mind it. Now I use those ends, those borders, for stamping my little text Christmas tree. With the rubber stamps I do have those silicone strips on the plate, on the acrylic plate, and I've just used those instead of those EZ foams, because I don't want to mount them permanent. Sometimes if you want to do like 3D projects, it is easier if you have the flexible rubber still. So try it out. Now I still need to color in my face, which I'm gonna do with my Derwent ink dents. Now for this little text block I'm gonna use a glue stick. It is a drier glue, so it doesn't wrinkle so much. And last but not least, I need a little piece of this lace I have. And I use the tacky glue again. You can use like a Kohl or Fabri-Tac, but I think just for that little piece, tacky glue works too. So here we are with the finished card. I hope you enjoyed this video. If so, please give me a thumbs up. If you are not subscribed yet, I would love to have you as a subscriber. Take care, till next time.